What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Draft Hub. Today, we are going to be making my picks for week 7 of the college football season. And man, what a season it's been so far. I mean, we're in the second half of the college football season already. It's crazy to me how the whole year doesn't go fast until we hit football season, and then like the 12 regular season weeks of college football, or 13 rather, I guess, with week 0, and then the 17 or 18 weeks of the NFL season before playoffs. It's so unbelievable how fast it all goes. But yeah, I'm super excited about this episode because there are some really good games on this slate. So last week we went 39-11 in the 50 college football games that there were, and we have a new overall record of 305-77 through 6 weeks of the season. There are some games I did miss in week 0 and the beginning part of the week 1 slate, so I should have more games on there, but that's the reason why I don't. But before we get into my picks for week 7 of the college football season, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you are new here. This is an everyday occurrence. I upload every single day. It's videos, it's shorts, whatever it may be. If you love NFL content, NFL draft content, college football content, I am your guy. We have been just going full steam ahead since the start of the NFL season, and we haven't looked back, and the growth of the channel has been unbelievable over the past couple weeks, and I can't thank you guys enough, and let's keep it rolling. So without further delay, let's get into it. Week 7 of the college football season actually starts when I'm recording, so you guys will be seeing this after 12 o'clock on Thursday, which would be October 9th. So there are a couple games before I'm recording this. So I'm recording this at about 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. These games will be taking place in a little while. We have Missouri State taking on Middle Tennessee State. Give me Missouri State. I've been really happy with the way that they've kind of acclimated themselves to FBS play. It really all started after the Marshall game. They won against Marshall. They played very, very well against SMU. They got another win against an FCS opponent, and then I think they just narrowly lost last week or something along those lines. But give me Missouri State over Middle Tennessee, Liberty, and UTEP. UTEP has been a little underwhelming for me this year. I didn't think they were going to be like great. I was thinking maybe 6-6, but I feel like they're kind of all over the place to start the year. Liberty is kind of status quo in Conference USA. They're always going to be a pretty solid team overall, and this is another one of those years. So give me Liberty over UTEP. Oh yeah, I got the 2 road teams on Wednesday beating the home teams here. Moving on to Thursday's slate of games, you have a couple really good ones. I mean, this is a hell of a slate of games for college football this week. Louisiana Tech at Kennesaw State. Give me Louisiana Tech, another team that I think and Kennesaw State, to be fair. These are 2 teams that I've actually been pretty wrong on. Kennesaw State has taken another step forward in terms of acclimating themselves to FBS ball. They've been playing much better over the last 4 weeks. Louisiana Tech as well. This is a team that is going to be leaving for the Sun Belt after this season to take the place of Texas State. And they're kind of leaving with a bang. They've been playing very good football as well. Give me Louisiana Tech here over Kennesaw State. Another away team win. And it ends here. Eastern Carolina taking on Tulane. Tulane is just a team that I feel like is offensively just too overpowering for this East Carolina defense. So give me Tulane over East Carolina. Sam Houston State has been one of the biggest disappointments in college football so far this year. 0-5, I want to say, or 0-6 so far this year. After what did they go? 9-3 last year, or 8-4? They were great last year, but a massive downturn after an exodus of players and coaches. Yeah, they are in towards the basement of college football, honestly. And I'm going to take Jacksonville State here. Southern Miss and Georgia Southern. Give me Southern Miss over Georgia Southern here. Just another one of those teams that is kind of on the bounce back. They had a rocky first game, and they've been pretty decent ever since then. Moving on to Friday, again, 3 awesome games. You have South Florida and North Texas, and man, this is North Texas is favored in this one. Their offense has been firing on all cylinders this year. Their defense has gotten much better since last year. That's really not saying a lot because anything could have been better than last year. But regardless, North Texas is playing some awesome football. So is South Florida, though. Really, they kind of took the college football world by storm in the first 2 weeks of the season. They've been playing very good ball this year. Byron Brown is arguably probably, I would say, a top 15 or 20 Heisman candidate. He's been playing great football. Give me South Florida over North Texas. I believe that would be North Texas's first loss of the season. I could be wrong about that. Rutgers and Washington. And this is a battle of two really exciting young quarterbacks, Ethan Kaliakmanis and Damon Williams. And Damon Williams has been awesome so far this year. Washington got a really nice comeback victory over Maryland, who, in their own right, have been playing a great brand of football with Malik Washington, true freshman quarterback. But give me Washington over Rutgers. This is wild, by the way, that this is a Big Ten matchup. Rutgers, who play in New Jersey, are taking on Washington, who play, in the state of Washington. I don't know exactly where they play, but Seattle. It says it right there. Location: Husky Stadium, Seattle, Washington. That's a crazy Big Ten game. Unbelievable. But yeah, give me Washington over Rutgers. Fresno State and Colorado State. Colorado State has been a really not inspiring team so far this year. Give me Fresno State. That's kind of been one of my mainstay picks. Like every week, I feel like I pick a Fresno State, and they really haven't let me down so far. So you might as well keep rolling with them. We have Ohio State taking on Illinois, and I said at the beginning of the year, Illinois might only have 2 losses on the season, and that was going to be against who the heck did they lose big to? Indiana. I said it was going to be USC. I thought they were going to beat Indiana, but yeah, I thought it was going to be Indiana and Ohio State. Ohio State is in a rare is in rare form this year, where their defense is really the star of the show for them. Their defense is unbelievable. I mean, from top to bottom, they just have so many awesome players, so many NFL caliber players. Give me Ohio State over Illinois. Alabama and Missouri. This is what a quarterback matchup. This is Ty Simpson and Bo Prabula. This is an exciting quarterback matchup. But Alabama, to me, is just firing on all cylinders. This really feels like Kalen DeBoer has got to these guys now. This is officially his program. His guys are playing a good brand of football. And Missouri is no pushover. This is a team that I will, of course, admit it, I thought they were going to go like 6-6 this year. I didn't know what to expect from Bo Prabula. They lost so much in the NFL draft. They lost so much talent in the NFL draft this past year. I didn't think they were going to be able to bounce back as fast as they did, but I will take Alabama over Missouri in this one. Has the potential to be the best game of the week. Pittsburgh and Florida State. Give me Florida State. Even after the quarterback change, Pittsburgh really was awesome last week. I don't recall the quarterback's name, but he came in, he threw for like 300 yards and 4 touchdowns. A welcome change over Eli Holstein, to be honest with you. Florida State is coming off of, a pretty tough loss to Miami. They battled hard, but Florida State, they need to get back on track. This is back-to-back losses now to Virginia and to Miami. So they need to get back on track. They need to win another game in the ACC. I think Pittsburgh gives them a tough battle, but I think Florida State will win. UCLA and Michigan State, a tough one to call, honestly, because UCLA went into Happy Valley and really the Penn State Nittany Lions had just no answer for UCLA. After a really dismal start to the year, probably couldn't go as bad. Couldn't go any worse than it already went so far for the UCLA Bruins. They got an insane victory over Penn State, so that's obviously huge. But Michigan State has been playing a good brand of football so far this year. And by good brand, I mean like they just try and outscore everyone. They don't really play great defense. But I think Michigan State at home beats UCLA. Stanford and SMU, give me SMU over Stanford. Cincinnati and UCF. Cincinnati, very surprising that they aren't ranked after a very convincing win over Iowa State. This is a good team. Joe Royer, Brendan Sorsby, this team is talented for sure, top to bottom. And another team that I thought was going to go like 5-7 or 6-6 have definitely proved us wrong so far. There's still time, but I think Cincinnati gets the job done here over UCF. Oklahoma State hosting Houston. Give me the Houston Cougars here in that one. Louisiana and James Madison. Give me JMU over Louisiana. Army hosting Charlotte. Army look like they're sort of kind of getting back into their ways that they were in last year. It took a little bit. I mean, it's going to be tough to replace. Bryson Daly was the quarterback's name. It's going to be tough type of production, but they're slowly but surely. It looks like they're acclimating to life after Daly. So give me Army over Charlotte. Miami of Ohio taking on Akron. Akron getting a surprise victory. What was that against Central Michigan this past week? Akron, yeah, a huge surprise there, but give me Miami of Ohio in that one. I just wanted to shout that out because I remember seeing the score and I was like, no way! I can't believe that Akron actually pulled it out. Good for them. You have Toledo and Bowling Green. Give me Toledo over the Falcons in that one. Ole Miss, who I didn't realize very sneakily got all the way up to number 4 in the country with Trinidad Chambliss, is what a quarterback he has been. What a story too, coming from Division II football, transferring. Austin Simmons gets hurt. He comes and lights the world on fire so far. I don't think Austin Simmons is getting that starting quarterback job back. It seems like a Kevin Jennings, Preston Stone situation on a higher level. Against Washington State, give me Ole Miss, obviously, there. Eastern Michigan and Northern Illinois, give me the Huskies over the Eastern Michigan Eagles here. It has the chance to be the worst game ever in human existence of college football. UMass taking on Kent State. Give me Kent State over UMass. I mean, this is just like you know, this is a bowl of sadness. Throw in the Charlotte 49ers and the Sam Houston State Bearcats and Akron in this mix, and you got some of the saddest programs in the FBS. But watch this be an absolute banger. That would be hilarious. I thought it said it was on ESPN for a second. It says ESPN Plus, and I was going to say, honestly, I think I'd tune into that. If UMass and Kent State were on national TV, I would probably watch it, to be honest with you. Indiana and Oregon, the most eye-popping matchup of the week here. I think this is going to be a tall task. You have two quarterbacks in this that potentially could be the number 1 overall pick in the 2026 NFL draft between Dante Moore and Fernando Mendoza. I think this is going to be, you have two really exciting offenses that like to push the ball down the field. They like to score. This is going to be an offensive explosion. But at home with Dan Lanning, I think Dan Lanning bests Curt Cignetti here, and I think Oregon get the W. Oklahoma and Texas, the Red River rivalry here. Give me Oklahoma over Texas. I mean, the fact of the matter is, I think Arch Manning, I think it's a multitude of things. I don't think Arch Manning is as good as people think he is. I also think he's playing slightly injured, and they just put too much pressure on him. They saw his last name was Manning, and they were like, this kid's going to be great. And he's obviously hasn't been able to handle the pressure. He looks terrible under pressure. He looks lost half the time. I feel bad for the kid, honestly, because stuff like this could permanently damage your confidence as a collegiate football player. So give me Oklahoma. I'm hoping that John Mateer comes back for this one, because John Mateer versus Arch Manning would be a very, very exciting quarterback matchup. But give me Oklahoma in this edition of the Red River rivalry. Georgia Tech coming off of a bye, I'm pretty sure. I don't think that they played last week, or I think they did actually. Going up against so many teams, it's so tough to keep up. Virginia Tech going to Georgia Tech here. The Battle of the Techs. Give me Georgia Tech over VT here. Notre Dame taking on NC State. Notre Dame could be on upset watch here. The Wolfpack have been playing some pretty good ball. CJ Bailey has definitely taken the next step, and he's one of the best young quarterbacks in college football. I'm going to pick Notre Dame, but you heard it here first if they are upset. I think they're on upset watch here. Iowa State taking on Colorado. Give me Iowa State. I think they bounce back nicely after getting punched in the mouth by the Cincinnati Bearcats. But I think Iowa State was going to be due. They weren't going to go undefeated. They had to lose to someone, but I think they bounced back nicely at Colorado. Northwestern taking on unranked Penn State in this one. I think Penn State might drop like 100 points on Northwestern, just out of pure frustration over the last couple weeks. Back-to-back losses. You lose to Oregon. Okay, you're not going to drop that much, but you lose to winless UCLA. You have a lot of questions to answer. It's only a matter of time. If they lose this game, James Franklin will probably be fired before 5:00 on Saturday, I would say. Or wait, what time is this game? Okay, so before 8:00 on Saturday. But give me Penn State in this one. Nebraska and Maryland. This is an exciting matchup of two young quarterbacks, Dylan Raiola, and before I mentioned Malik Washington here. Give me Dylan Raiola and the Nebraska Cornhuskers here over Maryland. I think the kind of honeymoon for Maryland is over. I don't think their record and talent match up. I think Malik Washington is unbelievable, but I do think that, especially on the defensive side, they aren't nearly as talented as some teams. And Nebraska is one of those teams that has been hovering outside of the top 25 all year. And I think Nebraska make a statement victory away from home against Maryland here in this one. Wake Forest and Oregon State. I picked Wake Forest last week. I guess that was a slight upset. I'm going to pick them again. This is not an upset for this one, but I'm going to ride with Damon Claiborne and Wake Forest in that one. TCU and Kansas State. Give me TCU here in this one. I think Josh Hoover and Eric McAllister are playing some unbelievable football so far. Eric McAllister has gotten his name on the 2026 draft board for sure against Kansas State. Air Force and UNLV, give me the Rebels in this one. Air Force just, coming off of another loss. Another loss? Did they lose? Yes, they lost to Navy. That is right. Yes. I don't know why I was like, but Army played Navy. No, that's not until like January. But yeah, so they did lose to Navy in a very entertaining matchup of our armed forces. But give me UNLV over Air Force. They're playing some really good football as well. App State going to Georgia State, excuse me. Give me App State in this one. I think that they have adjusted nicely under first-time head coach Dowell Loggins so far this year. And Georgia State is a team that I like a lot. They just can't seem to get going in the right direction. Old Dominion taking on Marshall. Give me ODU and Colton Joseph. If there was a Heisman for Group of Five, I'd probably give it to Colton Joseph. He's leading Old Dominion to an awesome season so far. Western Michigan and Ball State. Give me Western Michigan over the Ball State Cardinals. Navy taking on Temple. Give me Navy in that one as well. Tennessee taking on Arkansas. Arkansas is a team that looks much improved so far this year, but going into number 12 ranked Tennessee, Joey Aguilar has been putting on a show in this Volunteers offense thus far this year. And Chris Brazel is another player that's just awesome. UAB going to Florida Atlantic. Give me FAU in that one. My Texas A&M Aggies taking on the Florida Gators here. The Gators just upset Texas, but now they are traveling to the 12th man. So it's going to be tough for them to repeat that success. I think Texas A&M is such a complete football team. Marcel Reed has made me eat my words so far this year. He's playing some really, really good football. Casey Concepcion has been awesome. Le'Veon Moss has been awesome. The defense has been great. Cassius Howell, 7 sacks in 5 games. Tareen York, Will Lee, these guys are NFL players. Just a really awesome season for A&M so far. Wisconsin and Iowa. Give me Iowa over the Badgers in this one. Give me San Jose State over Wyoming. Louisiana Monroe over Coastal Carolina. Kansas and Texas Tech. Give me the Texas Tech Red Raiders over Kansas. I predicted this earlier in the year. I said that maybe it's not a crazy prediction, but I said the Red Raiders were going to be really, really good this year. They spent a lot of NIL money, and they also had a cupcake schedule. So it's the perfect storm is coming together here for the Red Raiders here, and they are going to be challenging for the Big 12 title game. I can guarantee you that. Really, the toughest game on their slate was against Utah, and they handled Utah very, very soundly. The defensive line is unbelievable, led by Romello Height and David Bailey. What a roster they have. Georgia and Auburn, a tough one here. Again, Georgia could be on upset watch. Auburn has kind of slid after a promising start to the year. They've kind of slid further and further down the pecking order. Maybe they have a get-right game here against Georgia, but for now, I'm going to pick Georgia, but I do think they potentially could be on upset watch as well. You have USC hosting Michigan. Give me USC in this one. I still think that the committee has ranked USC kind of harshly so far this year. I think they've been playing some very impressive football, a good brand of football they've been playing. They have a great offense. Jaden Mayava is a great quarterback. He has Jacoby Lane. He has Makai Lemon. Their offense is really exciting. They've been playing good football. Give me USC over Michigan. I think Michigan's a little too highly ranked. I'm not loving the way that they're playing. Bryce Underwood is extremely talented, and he is good, and he showed flashes of brilliance. But I don't know. There's just something about it that seems a little off for the Wolverines this year. Give me USC. Purdue and Minnesota, give me the Golden Gophers here in this one. Clemson and Boston College. Hopefully that game against North Carolina kind of set Clemson in the right direction. I am going to take them against Boston College, but I think that is a tougher test than the money line or the line will initially indicate. 13.5 seems like a lot for this Boston College team that actually has played pretty well so far this year. Rice and UTSA, give me the Roadrunners here with Owen McCown and that awesome Group of 5 offense. LSU coming off of a bye, hosting South Carolina. Again, another matchup of 2 quarterbacks that could be first-round talents or that are first-round talents in the 2026 draft class. Garrett Nussmeier and Lenora Sellers. I think this is going to be a really exciting matchup, but give me the Tigers here at Tiger Stadium over the Gamecocks. BYU at Arizona. BYU just keeps rolling. I think that Bear Bachmeier has been awesome this year. Chase Roberts has been really good. The BYU offense is rolling. The defense is always solid. Give me BYU over Arizona. Troy and Texas State. Give me the Bobcats here over Troy. Boise State and New Mexico. Give me Boise State. Utah and Arizona State. this was something that I thought potentially could be a Big 12 championship game, and as the year goes on, it looks like that's less and less likely. But give me the Utah Utes here over Arizona State. They need a win over a good opponent. They need a win over a ranked opponent, and I think Arizona State is at that point where as long as the Utes can kind of sort of lock up Jordan Tyson, which is a very very tall ask of them, I think they'll be okay. But give me the Utes in this one over Arizona State. Nevada hosting the San Diego State Aztecs, who have one of like the top 15 defenses in FBS. They have been awesome so far this year. And I think it's tough. A group that doesn't really opponents out, really tough to get into the top on defense alone. If they roll more victories, I think they might be like a team top 25. Give me the Aztecs over Nevada. And the last game here, you have Utah State traveling to Hawaii. Give me the Aggies over Hawaii in this one. I don't know. I just think that the offense, after the first couple of games where the offense sputtered, the Utah State offense has really gotten back to form. They've been playing some really good football. So and Hawaii's always so inconsistent week in and week out. I feel like Michael Alejo is awesome and throws for 400 yards one week, and then the next week he throws for like 120. So give me the Utes over the Rainbow Warriors in this one. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. There are my picks for week 7 of the college football season. Like I said earlier in the video, we are 305-77 so far. So let's keep on rolling. Thank you guys so much for watching today. I hope you enjoyed. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and I hope I see you in the next one.